guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new IDontWorkHereLady content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled, "Finally Got to Tell a Customer What We'd All Been Thinking." A while back, I was a server/bartender at an upscale restaurant, was dating another bartender, and was good friends with two of the managers. The owner was a pompous ass, but had two locations and almost never was at my location. The other one was in the trendy part of town, so of course, he had to be seen there. We had this one lady who loved to come to the bar. She would tell anyone and everyone working that she was friends with the owner, actually true, and used that to treat everyone like crap. Snapping fingers, calling out, "Hey you, I need another drink," all while bragging about the car she drove, the presents that her boyfriends would give her. Since she was actually friends with the owner, we just took it. We knew she would get most if not all her tab comped and not tipped, so we just shuddered when she walked in. She had two steady boyfriends and a third that seemed to rotate. She was good looking if you like fake parts. We called her the entitled idiot. When she was with a boyfriend, she was only a bit horrible. But when she was alone, she would get really drunk and piss off other patrons or hit on the older men to the point they would leave, affecting your tips all night. It's one thing if I know it's just one tab I'm getting screwed on. Another thing entirely when you affect my whole night. Fast forward about 8 months. I left the job to go back to school full-time, but my GF is still bartending there, and I would go in frequently to have a meal on the cheap and a free beer or two. One of these nights, she shows up. Lady snaps at my GF. "I need another Chardonnay. Quick." GF, who is taking another customer's food order. "He'll be right there in a minute." Lady looks at me. You work here. Get me a drink." Me, watching the game on TV and eating my dinner, ignores her. Lady gets in my face. I was talking to you. Get me my drink, K?" Me, "Ma'am, I don't work here anymore." Lady, "Yes, you do. I see you working here all the time. Get me my drink. Don't you know who I am? I know the owner." I look at my girlfriend and give her a little smirk as if to say, "May I?" And she nods back. I didn't want her to get in trouble, but the friendly manager was working that night and the owner was nowhere to be found. The stars had aligned. Me, "I don't work here, and since I don't, let me tell you what everyone who does work here thinks of you. You are the singularly most obnoxious guest that walks through these doors. We call you the entitled idiot behind your back. You're a drunk, a gold digger, and fake from head to toe. We count down the minutes until you leave." I turn to the boyfriend that's with her that night. You know she has at least 2 other boyfriends, right? Apparently, no one has ever talked to her like this before and her jaw is on the floor. You can see the hamster wheels spinning in her tiny brain, and knowing the crap show I have started, sit back and take a long drink of my beer and prepare to get reamed out. But before she can start, her boyfriend goes, "What?" Apparently he did not know about the other boyfriends. So what I thought was going to be a rant-filled ass chewing coming my way turned completely 180 on her. He starts going off on her and the restaurant is dead silent listening to him ream her out. How could she be sleeping around after all he has done for her? Cars, condos, presents. After all that, she was ducking around on him. He storms out and she runs after him. That was one of the sweetest beers of my life. After Stree, of course, she called the owner and idioted about me, but he confirmed I no longer worked there. My GF got written up for allowing me to talk like that, but she never came back to that location. I was banned by the owner, but since he rarely was in, I still got to go hang out with my GF and manager friend. The next story is titled, "Hold On." Did you miss the part where you are in my driveway? I live right between a town that has several majorish roads and a town that, once a year, hosts the regionally majorish fair. Animals, tractor pulls, smash cars, live music, and fried everything, etc. My road connects the 2 parallel roads that join the 2 towns, so it's the start of a magical week full of idiots trying to find a non-existent shortcut and dumping their trash at the end of my driveway. First day of the fair, meaning tomorrow, is when I'll find the traditional Chinese takeout box filled with urine and 6-spit bottles. I'm venting my rage at an old tree stump by my driveway when, lo and behold, an intrepid, middle-aged seeker of the Northwest Passage sails towards me in a particularly crappy Ford Ranger. Idiot. Hi. Me, still swinging my axe. If you're going to the fair, this isn't the road you're looking for. You should head back. ID. No one ever tell you should look at people when you're talking to them. Me. Realizes he's one of those types and takes a break. Nope. If you're going to the fair, this isn't the road. ID. Okay. So how do I get there? Me. You should probably go back the way you came and get back in line. ID. No, I was already there. I mean, more like a shortcut. You do live here, so you know where those are. Me? Oh, that one. Yeah. You want to turn the other way out of the driveway. There'll be another line of cars. Get into it. ID. Wait. What? No, I was already there. I mean a faster way to get to the fair. Me. Look, friend, there are 2 exits off this road. Pick one, get in line, you'll get to the fair. ID. Wow. What's your problem? You're not very helpful. Me. It's not my job to help you. I told you what you need, now please leave me alone. ID. Excuse me. I just want some information. Why can't you just help me? Me. I did. Or what do you want me to do? Rearrange a road for you. ID. You can't talk to me like that. Me. Why not? I don't know you, and I don't want to. Get out of here. ID. What did you just say to me? I'm just asking you for help. Me. And I told you what you need to know. Kindly, go away. I'm. ID. What the heck? Did you just? Me. Hold on. Did you miss the part where you are in my driveway? I'm not the fair's help desk, and I definitely don't owe you any favors. Go away. I don't know if it was what I said, the fact that I was slowly losing my temper and still holding an axe, or the siren song of Confederate flags and bacon-wrapped Oreos calling him, but that's when the spell broke. The idiot proceeded to gawk at me, then threw his truck into reverse and went tearing back up the driveway. He almost lost it and would have hit the edge of the fence if someone else hadn't taken it out the preceding year. Something tells me it would have been my fault for leaving a tree somewhere he could have hit it. So I almost wish he had clipped something just to see what would have happened next. And sure, maybe I was a little too hostile at first, but expecting good customer service from random strangers is probably a bit much. Either way, I've since acquired a no trespassing sign. The next story is titled Old Lady Mistakes Mugger as Employee. I work for a convenience store that has a strict always comply with muggers policy, I think because it's cheaper for them to deal with losing whatever's in the register than fighting a suit from an employee hurt defending it. I've worked here off and on for the last 5 years and I've been in the store for 6 robberies. They're usually pretty straightforward. Guy comes in, give me the money, we do, they leave. We call the cops don't do anything. We have cameras, but this neighborhood has such bigger problems they never follow up on petty theft. One of those times, though, the kid didn't wear a mask, just a hoodie. Comes in with the hood up, young kid, couldn't have been more than 18-20. He paces around for a while, I guess trying to get his nerve up. I figured he was an underage kid trying to work up the courage to buy some beer at first. It was really early in the morning, and we were the only people in the store. He approaches the register and says he has a gun, doesn't pull it out, was probably bluffing, and that he won't use it if I just give him money. Talking all tough about, don't try anything today, I'm not the one, etc. I pop open the register, and he jumps behind the counter to take the money out. As he's doing this, an old woman comes in. Now I was getting really nervous because I didn't want the old lady to be in a dangerous situation, but before I could react, she recognizes the kid. She runs up to him and goes, "Oh, Noah. Hello, dear. How are you?" And the kid just freezes behind the counter, hands full of cash. She's older and I guess deaf, so she's shouting, "I didn't realize you'd gotten a job. Good for you, dear. You know, I just saw your mom the other day and she did mention IT." He's like, "No, I don't," but she isn't listening. "Your mama never tells me anything." "I don't work? Don't interrupt me, hun." "Anyways, your mama never tells me anything." And she's just chattering on, and she starts shopping. I'm just standing here frozen, waiting to see how this plays out, with the guy still behind the register with me. The kid was almost a foot taller than me, and I didn't want to get into an altercation if I could help it. She goes through and she's shopping, and she goes, "Noah, hun, could you help me reach this, please?" And he's like, "I don't." And she's like, "Why are you going to make me beg here?" So he goes over and dead-ass starts helping her get things from high shelves. She's like, "Is this really the best price you got for this?" And he's like, yeah." While he's doing this, I call the cops. I think he knows I must have been doing that because he's beyond antsy. At one point, he tried to bail, but she was like, "Hold on. Don't clock out yet. I'll just be a minute. I want to see you at work. This is so exciting. You're all grown up." So he's standing there awkward and panicked, trying to make a decision. Eventually, she goes to check out, and I scan her items, keeping an eye on him. She goes, "Oh no, can Noah check me out? He's my friend's son." I didn't know I was visiting him at work. This is so exciting. Wanting to keep things cool until she was out of the store on the off chance the kid did have a weapon of some kind or wasn't stable, I just stepped aside and let him check her out. He didn't really know how to use the scanner or anything, but he got through it. She leaves. Once she's walked out, he runs out of the store and jumps into a car. He didn't get any money from us. It was another 20 minutes before the cops got there, so it wouldn't have mattered either way. But that was the most memorable robbery for me, as robberies go. Not sure if this story fits this sub, but when I saw the sub I had to share this one. I mean, he technically was working, kind of. Just not for us, huh? The next story is titled, "I Don't Work Here. Why Not Do This Again?" Now, I am pretty much a fixture in the local grocery store. Almost every day I am in there because I like to cook, but I don't always remember to get all the ingredients and have to go back. I am in the grocery store, so much I know most of the staff by name. A couple of my neighbors even work there. But anyway, I was walking around the aisles, picking up beef broth, vegetables, and whatnot when I saw a lady wandering the aisle aimlessly. So I thought I would be considerate and ask her if I could help her. The elderly lady was looking for baking goods. I know the store like the back of my hand and know where it is. As we walked to the baking aisle, we struck up a conversation. The sweet elderly lady asked me if I would help her with her shopping because she had never been in the store before. I said sure, why not? I wasn't in no big hurry. I mean, I live in the apartments right behind the store. I mean, actually behind the store. I can stand on my patio, take off a shoe, and actually hit the back of it. We wound up doing all of her shopping together. She began to tell me about her kids and grandkids, and she was soon to be a great-grandmother. She is a very pleasant woman. I actually learned a few things she told me that she had seen in her lifetime. We walked the aisles, taking the items on her list and throwing them in the shopping cart, and she would check the items off. Finally, about half an hour later, we proceeded to check out. I told her I would be right back because I almost forgot what I had gone there for. As I returned to the register, the elderly lady was telling the manager what a nice employee I was and didn't want me to get in trouble for taking up my time. Dean, the manager, smiled and told her that I got there. The elderly lady looked at me puzzled and apologized to me for taking up so much of my personal time. I told her I was in no rush and that I live in the apartments nearby. It turns out she just moved several apartments away across the apartment complex. We walked home to our apartments. She smiled and asked me why I helped her if I didn't work there. I told her that my parents raised me to help others without reward. I gave her the groceries. I told her if she needed help or wanted to go shopping, let me know. The elderly woman said she did her shopping every Monday and if I wouldn't mind going in company. I told her it was very kind of her to try and keep me from getting fired even though I don't work there. So now I have a shopping buddy and someone to talk with and share coupons. I know this doesn't have a screaming entitled Karen or brat, but I just wanted to share this I don't work here story. So thanks for reading. Have a great day. The next story is titled, "Thank You for the New Phone and a Limp." A while ago, while I was in my break from the retail store that I work at, I was shopping in the electronics store directly next to the store I work at. I was wearing the store uniform, which is a very distinctive red and khaki with a jacket on top, as well as my name tag, which very clearly states what store I work at. Anyways, enter crazy mom and her 4 kids. I hear this piercing whistle from behind me a few times, so I looked over my shoulder because crap damn it was loud. And this lady is barreling towards me with her kids in tow. As I turned to her to see what all the hustle and whistling was about, she grabbed my wrist and knocked my phone out of my hand. I then look down and can see glass shards everywhere as the phone is smashed to hell. So I give her the classic "what the duck lady," to which she responded by hysterically screaming that employees should not be texting while working and that I should be ashamed of keeping her waiting because I was texting. I then turned away and she kicked my ankle as I walked away. I tripped, sprained my ankle, face planted, and nailed my shoulder on the shelving. Her kids started laughing and pointing. About this point was when an employee arrived and was able to help me up and see if I was okay. Now she finally thinks for a second, and a whole new look came over her face as she realized that I don't work at this store in the first place. Then another new look as I told the employee to call the police. She started pleading with me that it was just a mistake and that she was just having a bad day. Long story short, she was arrested on assault charges and eventually had to first replace my phone. Second, was given 350 hours community service. Third, I was awarded a decent sum of money, and my personal favorite is that she has to pay for and attend therapy sessions for the next 3 years on account of her rage issues. The next story is titled, "So You Can Shop But I Can't." A few years back, I was a store manager for a denim brand in a big mall. One day somebody drove into a power pole or something, and one half of the mall's power went out. Luckily for my team and I, we were on the now dark side. Power outages are generally loved in retail because you have to have all customers leave the store due to safety. Then if you're lucky, it's too dark to accomplish any work. So you sit and wait and get paid, at least until an impatient customer comes along and expects the circumstances and their rules to be different for them. "It'll just be us," says the 40-something father next to his clearly embarrassed 15-ish-year-old son. "We'll be really quick. We only want to try on a couple pairs." Bottom line and easiest excuses include, "It's against policy," and / or "I can't put your safety at risk." I was feeling frisky and went with, "Sir, even if you could see what you were doing in here, I don't have the ability to ring up your purchase." So unfortunately, no. He was annoyed, but they walked away. I had been looking into getting a new phone at the time, and like every mall, there was a cell phone kiosk right outside my store. It was daytime, so the skylights allowed me to still see my options. While talking with the cell phone guys, I get a text from a coworker inside the store. It just said, "Turn around." Standing at my store again is the man and his "I don't want to be here" son. And the way the man looked at me can only be described as the best resting idiot face a man in cargo shorts can accomplish. After a few more minutes, I head back to my store where the man says to me, "So you get to shop but I don't." Retail employees rarely get their way, so I decided to truly enjoy this moment. With the biggest, happiest of customer service smiles, I responded, "Sir, you are absolutely right. Enjoy your day." He later returned to inform me that he'd bought our products at Macy's and gotten them 30% off. Oh, and that I should be ashamed of myself. To which I replied once again with the biggest of smiles, "Macy's carries our outlet line, which are 40% off online currently. I hope you enjoy our products." Sometimes the customer isn't right, and it feels so good. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.